I honestly didn't expect my life to change this fast. As I'm making this chili, I didn't realize how big of a decision I'd be making later this day. Change is good though, right? And as we flow through life, our life changes in so many different ways. One thing I love about RV life is things are changing a lot. You don't ever have to feel stuck in anything you do. All I know is that I am young. I have a basket full of potential and a mind ready to explore and have fun in this life, no matter what that may look like. I do feel just so free at this time in my life. I am so young, living in a camper, no children, little responsibilities. I am just so happy to be where I'm at, and I needed to remember the bigger picture of my life this week. Nobody has to live with the choices I make for my life except for myself. I had to really wake up this week and remember, I have free will. I get to choose how I move forward from here. I just think that that's an absolutely beautiful thing.
Hey friends, so I had a surprisingly interesting day at work. You know, all was going well, all was going fine. I pulled out my crossword like usual because I'm behind the register, okay? Small town, grocery store, small town. Like maybe a customer in there at a time. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but we're in slow season, so even less. And I'm freaking doing my crossword and my boss pushes a cart really fast past me and goes, "You can't do crosswords back there." So then I'm like making light of it. I'm like, well, why? And then like she just laughs. And then she tells me, "You're just gonna have to be bored and stand there." And she said it in a passive aggressive, like jokey manner. And this may just seem like, oh, it's just a crossword. Like, oh, just don't do your crossword. I'm back there for like 5 hours. The only thing that brings me joy is my crossword. I'm still attentive when a customer walks up. I'm not on my phone. So this has just opened the can of worms for all the other issues I've been having at this job. They've made me cry before, multiple times. I've come home after work crying, or I've cried at work and had to go talk to my manager because of how a different manager was treating me. They cut my hours dramatically. I started with the impression that I was gonna be a full-time employee with benefits, like a full-time employee where you have to work 30 plus hours a week to get the benefits. Like that was what was implied to me when I started this position. And then right when I hit the around the 30-day mark for having like 30 plus hours consistently, they cut my hours by just enough so I don't have the 30 hours. And now I'm down to 20 and a half hours. This has brought my paycheck down by like $400 a paycheck. Maybe $300 to $400 a paycheck. And right now I'm in my grind era. I'm young. I need to be working. Like we need to be saving for like medical expenses, like dental, health. Like there are things that we need to be having money for. And all it took was the crossword. The crossword is what numbed my mind from all of the other problems. But you take my crossword away, I'm out. So, after talking to Zane on the phone and realizing how ridiculous it was to take away my crossword, I've decided I'm gonna go look for another job. Now, this may or may not seem ridiculous to you, but at the same time, this has only led the trail into me looking at all the other problems I've had at this job and how I'm not stuck there. I don't want to be stuck at a dead-end job. Like, no offense, but like if I could get paid the same somewhere else and be kept even more busy and go and work in the city that's 20 minutes down the road, then I'm probably just gonna go do that, because slow season is not for me if all I have to do is stand there and twiddle my thumbs and watch the clock go by. Do you know how much that just, it takes so much like time. There's so much more time when you don't have something to do. And I also honestly felt like her comment was kind of degrading. Like, You're gonna tell me I just have to stand back here and be bored. You're really gonna tell me that? Like, as my manager. I cannot. Like, I cannot. Anyways, like I said, y'all might think I'm just a little ridiculous, and that's okay. But it really only takes like one thing for me to be just done with it all. And realize, like, dang, did I ever really need to cry over this job? Like, maybe when the paychecks were fat, it was worth it. But right now, all of the money, almost all of the money that I'm getting, like, I can't keep any of it. I can't even afford car insurance. This is the most logical option for me. And honestly, I'll just see where the road takes me from here. I've really decided that this week is my last week. I cannot do it anymore. Like, when she walked past and said that comment, what went through my mind was like, well, hello to you too. I hadn't talked to her at all before that point. Like, hello to you too. Like, that was just kind of rude in my opinion. I've been emotionally fired up about this for way too long. So now I'm just making cornbread. Tomorrow I work 11 to 7, and then I decided I'm just gonna grab my stuff out of my locker and quit the next day, because then I won't be on the schedule for the next 4 days, and I'll just tell her not to put me on the schedule for next week.
It's okay if you're laughing right now, because I really did just quit my job over a crossword. Like, I honestly think it's funny. I really do. But after I've mentally, like, made a decision, there's no way I can back down on it, because I just feel so strongly about it on the inside. I'm a full adult. I should be able to do my crossword.
I'm so ready to eat. I'm feeling so much better about things. I have enough rent money to cover next month's rent, so I have time to get another job. I know this may seem like kind of an emotional decision, but from my perspective, I can't be in a place where I feel disrespected, because then I feel like I'm disrespecting myself, and I just, like, don't feel good in any other areas of my life if I feel that way. So a drastic change is what I need. I've got 6 more months here. I don't have to be attached to anything. I just genuinely need more money. And I'll keep updating you guys on how the situation plays out. Hey friends, it's been a few days since I last recorded. I went to work last night for the last night that I'm gonna show up there. I'm gonna send my resignation message today, and we're going to look for a new job and get coffee right now. I genuinely just need something that will be paying the same, if not more, and I want closer to full time, because we just have expenses coming up that we need to be able to pay for, especially dental expenses. So I need to be able to start saving money. And then I'm also thinking ahead, like, for our reservations that we need to book for the following year. So I'm really just thinking ahead. You know, the convenience of it being 2 minutes up the road has been great, but you can see my paychecks start to dwindle more and more since I started working there to now. I used to make close to $1,000 a paycheck, and now my last paycheck was under $700. So it's time to go find another job. Hey friends, so it's been about 1 day since I last recorded, and I quit my job yesterday. I sent her a text message on the app that is used for scheduling and messaging, and I said, hi, I appreciate my time working here, but please don't put me on the schedule anytime moving forward. Due to major life expenses coming up, I need to find a position that aligns more with a full-time schedule. Thank you. And then I sent it, and I deleted the app, and I blocked her number. I know, but I can't do the confrontation, bruh. And I think she appreciates a text message like that too, because passive-aggressive people don't like confrontation. That's why they're passive-aggressive. So now I have a completely fresh slate, ready to be happy. I really just had to think about it for a long time and correlate it to when we first landed here. That was the first job I got. We landed at the first RV park, and that first RV park was not it. We were not happy, but yet we were in such a beautiful place.
So we moved up the road and now we are happy in a beautiful place. But the only thing that didn't make me happy was my job. So why would I let myself be unhappy in the most beautiful place I've ever lived, at the most beautiful point of my life? Why would I let myself be unhappy? And I do need to be saving money. Like, money is such a realistic thing. Like, I could be making double money somewhere that can give me more hours for the same rate. So that's what I'm trying to do. We only have about 5 months left here, so whatever job it is, I'm not going to be attached to it. I'm just going to focus on making money and being young and enjoying my life. Because look, I'm in a camper in the mountains and just moved across the United States. Why would I be stressing over a 20-hour-a-week job? So anyways, now I'm just making coffee, and then we're gonna go back into town. I'm gonna go talk to some places that I applied to and just give them a good impression of me and keep going from there, because that's all you can do. But the great thing is that I have rent for next month, so I have quite a while to figure it out. Hi friends, so I just got done talking to a few places and making my face known, and they said that they would get back to me and seemed very positive about it. So I have good faith. The Dollar Tree was right next to it, so I decided to just go to Dollar Tree too and get a few things, because I was in like a manic episode for the last 3 days over like how I felt unhappy and how I think that I needed change. And so I didn't really clean anything or like do anything, and I feel like going to the Dollar Tree, getting a few things that'll help me clean will make me feel better if I just go home and take care of things. I got this for my bathroom and kitchen sink and bathtub. That will help clean with that product very well. This is always good to have, especially for $1.25. I really have been wanting mood lighting, and when I saw these lights for $1.25 a box, I feel like this is the perfect time to get them at the Dollar Tree. I thought I was gonna have to spend so much more than that. I got some ibuprofen, and I always use these bags to separate my meat. For $1.25, you really can't go wrong. And these are for my remote. I don't know why, but did anybody else have parents who were like, oh, you can only get the good batteries? And now that I'm an adult, I'm like, why would I ever spend more than $1.25 for a pack of batteries? But yeah, I really think that the change will be good for me, even if it's like a different schedule. It might be a little later than I wanted to work, but as long as I'm making, you know, more money, I'm happier, the environment is less toxic. The girl in there was around my age and she seemed pretty cool, and she said that if I was interested in a shift lead position, then they could offer me more hours. And I'm just thinking, like, that would be such good experience to have under my belt, like to be closer to like a management position. I think that that would be a really good opportunity for me, even if it seems later in the day than what I anticipated. I'm gonna just figure it out as I go. I just don't want to feel stuck. I don't want to feel trapped. I don't want to feel trapped and be bored with my life. Like, that was such a huge wake-up call for me. Like, girl, you are in the most beautiful place. Why should you be bored? Why? I'm so young. I'm 22. I'm going to live my life, okay? And then also, not to mention, with my first paycheck at the grocery store that I just worked at, I had to go in and tell management, like, hey, I told you that I was starting at 17. Why does my paycheck say $16.80 an hour? Like, I shouldn't have to clarify that with management. I just love the aspect of RV life for the fact that you get to start over as many times as you want. Like, you can go anywhere. You can do anything. Like, I can literally do anything I want. I'm so young. I'm not tied or stuck to anything. Woo! And the next 5 months, I just gotta put my head down and grind. Like, straight up. Put my head down, grind, save some money, and get out of here. Like, that's the plan. That's the move. It ain't that serious about where I work, just as long as I'm making money. So You can really see my free will start to activate within this video. Like, that comment really woke me up and made me realize, like, is this really what I want for my life? Do I really want to show up here 3 days a week but still stress so hard about it and be micromanaged by some middle-aged women who don't have anything better to do than to tell me to put my crossword away when there is nothing else to do, and then proceeds to tell me to be bored? Like, I just cannot. That was so triggering to me, and I think it was triggering to me because when I was growing up, I would get like grounded all the time, and my parents didn't have anything to take away from me because I didn't really have any friends, and we lived all the way out in the country, so there was nowhere for me to go. So what would they do? They would take away all of my electronics and tell me to be bored. So I think that's part of the reason why I got just so triggered in this moment, is because I don't want to feel like somebody else is controlling me. I want to be in control of my own life. I'm working a minimum wage job. You're getting minimum wage work, honey. Like, I do not owe my soul to a company that does not even care about me. And I can truly acknowledge that I've been watching myself get progressively more stressed as I've started working at this job. My depression piles inside of the house have gotten bigger and lasted longer. And I think that's just really evident and reflective of mental health. And I think that's something that I need to take seriously within my own life, because if I don't take it seriously, who will? Honestly, this was a big decision for me to make, but I still, sitting here, have zero regrets about it. I know that I'm so young. There's ample opportunity everywhere just waiting to be grasped, and I'm the one that's gonna grasp it. What if, instead of listening to the fear of, oh my gosh, what if I can't find another job? What if I can't pay rent? What if instead I listened to the knowing of things can actually get better? I can actually make a step up in life and get what I want. I don't have to settle for less just because that's where I first ended up. Well, I think that I could have departured in a more professional way. I did send a very nice message, and I just don't feel like I can go back in there and feel like an animal in a cage, because that's the feeling that I felt like when she made that comment. I felt like I was an animal in a cage. Like, actually, because I'm stuck behind that register. I can't go anywhere. Like, that is the way that I can describe how I felt and why I just cannot bring myself to go back. Because the last day that I was working there, Zane came by to say hello, and he noticed how tired I was and how just over it I was looking, and he said, honey, this is gonna be your last day. Hey friends, this food is looking extra good. Zane and I are just chilling, drinking our 4 Locos, and Zane's talking to his brother. And I'm catching up with my friend Callie. I'm feeling a lot better after everything. I really didn't expect this to happen this week, but I think I'm ready for the next chapter of my life, and I'm not really feeling any regrets. I'm feeling a little nervous, maybe a little fear, but I still trust that there's something better for me. I'll have to let you guys know what happens next video because I'm still not so sure what's happening. All I know is that I have next month's rent sitting pretty in my bank account. Zane made a sale today, which is good, and I got my pretty Christmas lights up. I'm loving how it turned out, but I also really cleaned the bathroom today, and I used that powder stuff, and I just love that stuff. Oh my gosh, I have never used that before in my sinks or anything, but it made it the cleanest it's ever been. A little update is that my job posted the schedule, and guess who's on it? Yeah, I guess conveniently she didn't see the one message of me saying that I'm quitting. She didn't open it. But I know she saw it. It almost feels malicious, because how do you see every single other message I sent you except the one of me quitting? If anything, I feel as though her ignoring my initial text message of my resignation shows how bad management was there. Whether she saw it or not, it's still reflective of the environment and how I needed a stronger manager, a more professional manager. That text message should have been acknowledged, and I should not have been put on the schedule that was in the professional scheduling app for their entire company. So that is stuff that managers are supposed to look at. I honestly feel like there's a slight chance it could have been done on purpose and maliciously, and I just don't like that feeling. I am so over this job. I'm ready to leave the minimum wage grocery store job in the past. Thank you, friend, for sticking till the end, and I'll see you next week.